And now, words of wisdom with me. It'd be great if the Redskins were playing again next weekend, but the silver lining in this, the next time they take the field, Adam Carriker will have his hands in the dirt. And with that, we welcome you to Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show to be hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. On the other end of the line is Redskins defensive end Adam Carriker.
Howdy.
I'm former wrestling announcer turned weight loss champion Chuck Carroll, and this is Fourth and Pain. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Fourth and Pain and join us each and every Sunday morning on 106.7 The Fan at 8 o'clock, the fastest hour in pro wrestling and football. And with that, Adam Carriker, what a difficult defeat today. 24-14 loss to the Seattle Seahawks. The dream season has come to an end. But you know what, Adam? I got to be honest right up front, and I'm not trying to sound as a homer or anything like that. I just can't envision a better ending to this season. Obviously, a win today would be great, but what this team was able to accomplish in the final 7 weeks of the regular season to put themselves in position to be here Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks, absolutely remarkable. There is no shame in the way this season ended.
The season could have ended better. It could have ended with a Super Bowl ring. But that being said, the team went on a heck of a run, 7 in a row, first NFC title since '98, first playoff appearance since '07. When we were 3-6, everybody counted us out. Everyone said we were done. I made the statement heard round the Carriker household if nobody else listened. Hold on to the towel. And it turned out to be a little bit more prophetic than I even thought it would, turn out to be. And they made a great run, 6-7 wins in a row, and they really finished their year well. I'm a little bit down. The car ride home tonight as we record like we did last week, tonight is not near as exciting as it was last week. That's why you can't see us, because I'm riding home again, leaving the stadium. But I'm down, but I'm excited for the future.
Well, you're riding home, and I'm sitting in the luxurious gray parking lot outside FedEx Field a couple of hours after the game has concluded, and it was really downtrodden in the press box. These guys, the members of the media, are supposed to be very unbiased, but you could tell that there is a sense of disappointment that this magical run was over. But at the same time, Adam, for the first time in a number of years, when people say, well, there's always next season, not only can they say that, there is genuine excitement about the possibilities of what 2013 holds for this Washington Redskins franchise. And as Robert Griffin III said himself, the sky is the limit for this team. And if you give him time to go out, heal his knee, everybody gets healed, you get back on the field, who knows where this team is going to be at this time next year. I think that we are talking about a legitimate, at least NFC title contender at that point.
I completely agree, and I like what Robert said. The sky is the limit. He's going to be in his second year. He's going to know so much more going into training camp this upcoming year than he did last year. He's going to be that much better, and he was pretty darn good this year. He's going to be healthy. All of our guys are going to be back and healthy. The biggest key is going to be just keeping guys healthy and maintaining the momentum that we had finishing this year. And everybody is down, and everyone wants to win, and it's rough because the game just happened, and obviously, I'm a little bit down. I'm nowhere near the excitement level that I typically am. But you step back and you look at the season as a whole, the turnaround that was made in the future, that is the next upcoming season. There's a lot to be excited about.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this game. Obviously, Robert hurts his knee in the first quarter. He gets kind of shoved out of bounds, falls awkwardly on it, comes up gimpy, but opts to stay in the game. He and head coach Mike Shanahan, they have a conversation. And as your coach, Adam, has said a number of times this year, there's a difference between being injured and being hurt. And when you're injured, you obviously cannot play. When you're hurt, you suck it up, you go back on the field, and you continue to do what you got to do. Robert told Mike Shanahan that he was simply hurt. He could continue to do it. It was his job as the starting quarterback of this team. And he came out after the game and also said he didn't think by remaining in the game it hampered the team's decision to win or ability to win whatsoever. And I'm curious, as a guy that suffered a knee injury himself this season, What did Roberts' decision to stay in the game mean to you? What did you see out of him, and how much did that affect the Redskins going through quarters 2 and 3 until he ultimately left the game in the fourth quarter?
Well, what you have to understand is football players, we envision ourselves like gladiators. Like, we're not coming out of the game, if at all possible, that we can't stay in the game. My attitude is, a coach is going to take me out. And if he asks me, I'm going to stay in. When I got hurt, I couldn't move my leg. I felt something pop. I couldn't. The trainers asked me to lift my leg up. I couldn't do it. I couldn't even walk off the field. I had no choice. It was pretty obvious. In a case like Roberts, I admire and I respect his toughness, his desire, and it's an incredibly tough situation because you have a guy who wants to keep playing, a guy who obviously has the desire to win and win championships, and I have nothing but respect for that. As far as how it played out the rest of the game, it's such a tough situation to be in. Do you keep him in? Do you take him out? How bad is he hurt? What if he's not, really hurt that much and he could have helped you? What if he is hurt? I mean, it's just such a tough situation. I was talking to Angie, to Mrs. Carriker, who does the Peyton Pulse, just a couple of minutes ago when we left the parking lot. What would I have done? And I literally, I don't know. I would have flipped a coin. I mean, that's why I'm a player and not a coach.
Absolutely. A 100% difficult decision to make. But here's what I saw sitting in the press box this evening, Adam, is that it's basically what everybody else saw. The Washington Redskins, you opened the game with 2 consecutive touchdown passes, couple of the 4-yard varieties, moved the ball with ease against the Seahawks defense, which as of late has been very stingy, built up a 14-0 lead, but as soon as Roberts' knee gets a little bit gimpy and a little bit suspect, that offense starts to stall in a big way, and that's why these decisions, the second guessing of the coach's decision and Roberts' decision to stay into the game, that becomes an issue at this point. And so a lot of people were wondering, well, where is Kirk Cousins? Why isn't he up throwing? Roberts obviously in the examination room. He's having Dr. James Andrews and your entire training staff look him over after that initial injury, and he's not able to run. He does this scramble off to the left where he's running maybe 50% at best, obviously hobbled. And there's just this inability to move the ball at that point. It didn't seem like he was able to plant on his foot. But as you said, Adam, he's a warrior. And how difficult is it for him to be able to see what's actually going on versus what he feels in his heart? Is there any way that he could actually take himself, I guess, I don't want to say out of his body, but take himself out of the equation and just look at it from an unbiased perspective and know, hey, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't be out here?
Can he look at it from an unbiased perspective? No, because he couldn't possibly be any more invested in the game than he is. That's the way players are. I've told Angie before, and this is speaking about me personally. I don't know that every football player is this way. I'm not normal. I actually like pain. I remember when I was in Little League, I got a black eye, fat lip, messed up my ankle, and I went out and hit 3 home runs later that day. Like, the dirtier, the nastier, the bloodier, the more painful it is, within reason, the more I actually love and enjoy it, especially when it comes to football and competition. Now, I don't know that everybody's that way, but all football players are that way to a certain extent. And we take great pride in our toughness and the ability to play through things, to stay in games. So to ask if he can look at it unbiasedly, I mean, it's like almost impossible to say that.
Well, and it kind of reminds me, as this is a pro wrestling, pro football show, it reminds me of when Triple H was able to finish his match after suffering the same injury that you did, tearing that quad muscle and a little bit of that tendon there, and just the gutsy performance to stay in there to gut it out. And you know what? I 100% agree with you. I wish that I could take the debatable side and say, well, you know what? He shouldn't have been in there. He should have known better. No. If I'm in his shoes, I would find it very difficult to make that same decision. And, you know what? Now he's got a number of months to heal up. And honestly, Adam, this team, this town, everybody here a little bit down this evening, but you know something great is building, and so it's not altogether bad. The only question is now, who do Redskins fans root for the rest of the season?
I had a lot of conversations before we started this interview with Mrs. Carriker. Once again, the Peyton Pulse lady. I looked at her and said, I really don't even want to watch the playoffs anymore. I really don't care. I do care, and I will watch them. But at this moment in time, it's like, I don't care. The Redskins aren't in it. I hope everyone loses.
Well, you know what? Kind of on that note, that's a natural transition here. You're listening to Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. But on that point, the NFL's playoffs may be over, but there's a very big game, Alabama, Notre Dame. Now, Adam, you were supposed to be wearing a Notre Dame jersey today. We did not foresee doing the show, me from my car, you from your car, but this is just kind of how it played out. And you
I'm
don't.
wearing it.
You're
you can't see it. This totally counts.
Wow.
I'm wearing it.
Wow. Okay. Okay, but
I'm totally wearing it right now. Just because you can't see it, it counts. It totally counts.
Oh, no. It doesn't count until we get this on video. You are not getting out of this bet. I want to see you in some Notre Dame gear, my friend.
Do you think I'm wearing it? Here, answer me that question, honestly. Do you think I'm wearing it?
I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell that you have that jersey on, because there is no way you would be caught dead walking around FedEx Field in some Notre Dame gear.
Well, you're absolutely right. I'm wearing a nice polo and some Redskins colors. I would not be caught dead in that Notre Dame jersey, especially not around FedEx Field. But I will honor the bet. I will get the jersey from Phil as soon as I humanly can, and I will put it up on Fourth and Pain so that he can gloat over. Hopefully, I'm predicting Notre Dame winning tonight. Hopefully Notre Dame winning, and also this is a result of Georgia beating my Nebraska team in the all-time upset of the Capital One Bowl. So I have to pay off that bet, and I will.
Yeah. Speaking of which, has Goldberg been in contact with you? Is he still continuing to rub that in, or have we heard the last of the Georgia-Nebraska rivalry this year?
Oh, I'm sure this Thursday when he comes on the show, we'll have one more ribbing. But actually, he was a lot nicer, a lot classier. Not that Phil Daniels is classy, but he was a lot nicer than Philip was about the victory. And actually, Philip was pretty good, too, after he got his couple shots in.
Well, and that kind of makes me feel bad, because you guys put me through the ringer having to pay off that bet to him over the Saints game way back in, week 5 or 6? And then, of course, I have to don the man panties and your big old 3X jersey out there on Christmas Eve just freezing my royal cojones off. You guys put me through the ringer, yet he lets you off easy. I'm feeling a little bit disappointed about what's going on here, my friend.
I don't recall seeing your white skinny chicken legs on TMZ.
Well, I'm not Adam Carriker either, but that doesn't take away.
I think it evened out, my friend.
No, it did not even out, because you guys went on a merciless attack against me personally on the show, and he let you off easy. He let you off easy this go around.
I was blasted on TMZ, online, on the TV show. Hey, man, I paid my debt to society.
I don't want to hear anything of it. But, all right. Well, Notre Dame and Alabama tonight for the national championship. But as for right now, we are fresh out of time. Adam Carriker, your final thoughts on the Redskins campaign?
Like I said, great run to end the year. It really shows what we can do, what we are capable of, like I was saying throughout the year, even in the beginning when we were struggling a little bit. And honestly, as a guy who hasn't played a snap or a down since September, I'm pretty down. I feel like I played this game even though I didn't. I had butterflies before the game. But honestly, it just shows what we're capable of. It shows what we can do. And I have butterflies in my stomach right now, because I know that the next time we play a game, I'm going to have my hand in the dirt. And I honestly can't wait. And it's like, physically, I could not do it because of my knee right now, but mentally, I'm ready to go. And I've got like those pregame jitters just thinking about it right now, just raring to go in my head. And obviously, we got a long time, and it's off of a tough loss. I'm just excited about the opportunity for next year and being able to do big things, even bigger things next year.
Absolutely. And although the Redskins season may be coming to a close, Adam, Fourth and Pain is going to be going as strong as ever headed into the offseason. Lots of big things coming our way, especially on the pro wrestling front. We are in the mecca of the pro wrestling season, if you will. Royal Rumble later this month. Oh, by the way, WrestleMania in just a couple of months. Lots to talk about. The Elimination Chamber sandwich in between there. It is a very good time to be a wrestling fan. If you enjoy you some wrestling, you're going to enjoy you some Fourth and Pain. And we're going to be keeping people up to date with what's going on with the Redskins this entire offseason. So I encourage you, the listener, stick around, stick with Fourth and Pain. We will be giving you the best offseason pro wrestling, pro football coverage known to man, and that is a fact that you can take to the bank.
Well, don't forget, we've been talking about that national title game tonight. And I know Raw is every Monday night, but The Rock, he shows up once every couple of years. He's on Raw tonight. He returns. I guarantee there's going to be some sort of face-to-face confrontation with CM Punk. Maybe CM Punk's got that match with Ryback. Maybe a little run-in by The Rock, a little interference. I don't know. But my question to you is, you going to be watching Raw? Are you going to be watching that football game?
Oh, dude, I'm going to be a man torn. You better believe I'm going to have that clicker in hand going back and forth during commercial breaks. That is a fact. That is
You're
a
a Notre
100%.
Dame guy. You're going to be watching the game, and you're going to DVR Raw. And honestly, I'll probably pay more attention to the game, too.
But see, here's the thing. I mean, this sets the plate for the Royal Rumble. You got to figure, CM Punk, he's supposed to be wrestling if the doctors, quote unquote, clear him medically to wrestle. So you know it's just going to be a huge, huge, huge night on Raw. And I'm actually hopeful, Adam, that by the time that the main event rolls around when CM Punk is supposed to wrestle, I think that maybe that game will be hopefully somewhat decided, or even better, if that match somehow would happen to fall during the halftime period. What do you think?
We'll see what happens. It's not gonna fall during the halftime period. They're gonna save that for the end. You know it's gonna be the main event.
Well, a man can dream, can he? So on that note, we are fresh out of time. I'm Chuck Carroll. Thank you so very much for believing in our weirdness.
Adam Carriker, great Redskins season. Largest thumbs on the D-line. Peace out, Fourth and Painters.